Well, well, well. There was an announcement at the end of June that the chief diversity officer at Disney was stepping down and leaving the company. Well, now we have the same thing happening at Warner Brothers Discovery and Netflix as their diversity heads are stepping down. My question is why do we even have chief diversity officers at these corporations? Oh, I know why. Pick me, I know why. It's because we answer to our investors, and our investors happen to be BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street Capital, and they're heavily invested in DEI. That's why we have chief diversity officers now at corporations. So this is from Bounding Into Comics. After the Walt Disney Company canned chief diversity officer Latondra Newton, Warner Brothers Discovery and Netflix lose their diversity heads. Wow. Blah, blah, blah. At the end of June, it was revealed that Walt Disney Company's chief diversity officer, Latondra Newton, was no longer with the company. Now, Warner Brothers Discovery and Netflix's have also seen their diversity heads leave their respective companies. My opinion, they shouldn't be replaced. My opinion, they're not needed. My opinion, we need to be hiring the best people for the job, whether it's who cares what race, creed, color, ethnicity, whatever you want to call it. It's gotten to the point where we have to hire based on the makeup of the country. No. 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 No, you don't. You hire based on somebody's credentials, their experience, their education. Variety announced Newton had left the Walt Disney Company after they obtained an internal company memo on June 20th from the company's HR chief, Sonia Coleman. Coleman wrote in the memo, "I'm writing to share the news that Latondra Newton has decided to leave the Walt Disney Company to pursue other endeavors." Since joining the company in 2017, Latondra has led the company's strategic diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, including partnering with stakeholders across the enterprise to amplify stories of the world by people around the world. She has been dedicated to ensuring every person sees themselves and their life experiences represented in a meaningful and authentic way, Coleman added. See, this is where you get into the DEI and ESG stuff when you're talking about stakeholders. Not shareholders, not people that own shares in the company, but stakeholders. It's different. Coleman went on to reveal that Julie Murgis would take on Newton's role on an interim basis as the company looked for a new DEI leader. Latondra's direct reports will report to Julie Murgis on an interim basis until a new DEI leader is identified. I want to thank Julie for leading this team along with her talent acquisition organization. See, that's where you get into diversity, equity, and inclusion being tied to hiring talent, hiring people. Additionally, Shelby Curry and the DEI internal communications team will continue reporting to Carrie Brown in her role leading internal communications and engagement for the company, Coleman wrote. So there you have Disney's chief diversity officer. Bye-bye. Now you have Netflix's head of inclusion strategy, Verna Myers, stepping down from her position at the company in September. While she is exiting the company's head of inclusion strategy, she will still advise the company, albeit the report notes she will be focusing primarily on her consulting company, the Verna Myers Company. Unlike the Walt Disney Company, Netflix appears to have a replacement for Myers already lined up in Wade Davis. Davis is currently the vice president of inclusion strategy and worked under Myers for 4 years. In a statement, Myers said, "It's hard to step away from the company and this role because of how much I love Netflix and the people here. I'm so excited for the talented Wade Davis who will be taking the lead of the IND work along with our incredible inclusion strategy team. And I can't wait to see the continued progress we all will make together." Isn't that just touching? It sounds so good. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. It just sounds so sweet. Nothing nefarious behind that. Netflix's chief talent officer, Sergio Izama, also stated, "Verna has had an immense impact on Netflix over the last 5 years, and I'm glad we'll still get to work together and benefit from her deep expertise. I'm very grateful for everything that she's done to help strengthen our collective inclusion acumen and capabilities so we can make Netflix a place where everyone feels welcome and can thrive." He added, "Wade is a strong and well-respected leader at Netflix, so a great person to build our commitment, taking our inclusion work to the next level." Oh, all this inclusion talk. Inclusion is great when it happens naturally. When you bring the best person in for the job, rather than hiring somebody based on their ethnicity, their race, their creed, their color. Inclusion, when it's forced, is almost akin to affirmative action. When you think about it, it's very similar to affirmative action. Oh, which, by the way, the Supreme Court struck down for colleges and universities. At the end of June, Los Angeles Times reported that WarnerBrosDiscovery axed its diversity leader, Karen Horn, who was the company's vice president for diversity, equity, and inclusion in North America. According to the outlet's sources, her departure from the company was announced on June 28th, and the company's spokeswoman, Megan Klein, informed the outlet she was not let go due to Warner Brothers Discovery's cost-cutting, but rather a rethinking and reorganization of the company's diversity organization. A memo sent to Warner Brothers Discovery staffers by the company's chief global diversity, equity, and inclusion officer, Asif Sadiq, read, "Karen is a talented executive who's committed to our shared goals of creating an even more inclusive company and an accessible and equitable industry. I thank Karen for the important role she played in establishing a strong foundation while integrating the legacy company's teams and programs, and we wish her the very best." Sadiq added, "Importantly, these changes do not alter our commitment to our plans for pipeline programs and content-driven initiatives. These are fundamental pillars of our DEI strategy and will continue to be areas of investment and focus." So, see, not only do they want to bring people in based on DEI to work for these corporations, they also want to push that type of agenda in the content they put out. Let's see here. Where was I at? Sadiq recently made an appearance at the Royal Russell School, Croydon, and discussed diversity, equity, and inclusion departments, noting that companies in the United States spend over $8 billion training their employees to be racist. What? He said every organization trying to drive change, trying to create a workplace that's more inclusive, a society that's more inclusive. In the US alone, $8 billion were spent on diversity training and many more billions globally to try and create that equity that everyone wants to see, feel in the workplace. So there you go. If you don't believe in DEI, you're racist. No, I'm not racist for not believing in DEI. I believe that those things should happen naturally and not be forced. And I'm not big on equity, I'm big on equality. All men created equal. That also includes women. Sadiq went on to admit that programs are not successful. It's not driving the change that we want to see. We are not achieving the success that people want to feel in the workplace. As for why it fails, he admits it's racist. Why is that? Well, I argue that very training is biased. It's built with stereotypes. It has assumptions. It's not always diverse or inclusive, and many times it does the very opposite of inclusion. Clearly, these departments are giant money pits for these corporations, and the benefits they believe they were getting from them have actually significantly eroded many of these companies' perceptions among the public. Yeah, because people are seeing through the BS. People are waking up. People aren't buying into diversity, equity, and inclusion. And yes, those departments within corporations are money pits. It will be interesting to see if these companies will continue to can people in these departments or if they would double down on their admitted failings and racist strategies. So, comment down below. Share your opinion. What do you think about these cuts to these departments at Disney, Warner Brothers Discovery, and Netflix? Do you think that the DEI, what I want to say, DEI departments in these corporations should just be abandoned and shuttered? I know I do. I think companies would be better off saving the money or putting that money to good use in other areas. So while you're at it, take the time, please, please, please smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. Hit the notification bell to get notified when my content goes live here on YouTube. You can also find me on Rumble and Odyssey. And as always, I thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. And hope everybody has a happy and safe 4th of July.